What is up, people? Welcome back to another episode of Omnifactory. I hope everybody's doing alright. I'm doing kind of okay, I guess. My computer's working, we've got a game, and I changed those a while back. But when I recorded it, the computer crashed. So let me start to explain why there was a 1 week hiatus span of time in between. Nothing happened because of something that was out of my control. If you know how to pronounce the word that I was trying to pronounce, please let me know in the comment section below. So what happened is Path of Exile came out, so I played until like 1 in the morning on Friday. Not last week, the week before that. And then I went to bed and I was like, I should close my computer. I haven't done that in a while. It's not like something's going to happen. And when I woke up, I went back to my computer because I wanted to play more Path of Exile. And, well, computer would not load because it was not finding a bootable drive. Yeah, my hard drive with Windows on it was completely gone. And I mean, you could not do anything with it. I've tried some programs that I know to regain control of my drive, to actually be able to like duplicate it into another one. Yeah, that wouldn't work. The only thing that you could do with the drive is see it in the BIOS. You could not access the drive by any means that I know of. And so now I had a drive that was not usable, and that was the one that contained Windows. So what happened next was I was screwed, because Windows pretty much links to everything in your computer. Meaning that even though I had other drives containing my save files, my configs, my recording things, my things for my channel, which are also, those are kept online as well and on another computer as well. Well, I couldn't do anything because all the connections to all those parts, well, needed to be redone. Also, I needed to reinstall Adobe, I needed to reinstall my program to record, I needed to, which I haven't done yet, reinstall things to stream. My microphone needed to be reset up, which for some reason the driver is different, which means that I sound different, which means that you guys need to let me know how the sound work. And for some reason, at some point when I play, I get a lag that does like this. So that means that there's probably something with video settings and stuff. It was kind of an annoying thing to do, which also I did not have another drive to install Windows on, so I needed to go out to buy a drive because I couldn't really order one because I wanted the drive now if I wanted to have a computer, and I didn't want to wait a day for getting the drive. So I went into a shop, and let me just not go into this, it was even worse to buy SSD than it was to actually install it. Turns out they get stolen often, so they place something in, like they have something in place so that you need to ask somebody to get an SSD, but the person you need to ask is probably not the person you should in reality ask for that. And it just made that getting an SSD, even though I knew which one I wanted, took about 2 hours. And then, well, reinstalling Windows, reinstalling the patch, reinstalling all the program, making sure that everything works, making sure that nothing breaks. Took a long time. But I was able to play Path of Exile a little bit. And I was also able to speak with the people on the Omnifactory Discord. If you don't know, there's a Discord. If you need help, they are really useful to help. And so what I talked about with them actually was not brought up by me, it was brought up by somebody else, about the fact that when we get to like the end, there kind of seemed to be a disconnect between A and C, meaning that like you need to go by B, which is like here. So you have A, you have B, and you have C. So this is the beginning of the mod pack. This is the middle game of the mod pack, and this is the end game. And like this one is pretty nice because it connects. But when you're trying to reach to the end game, it seems that you're kind of doing this to reach the end game. But some of the parts of the late game also connects here and also connects there. And then there's stuff like right here. And so, but this part over there makes no sense. And the part that I'm talking about is, if you don't know, there was supposed to be an update to Omnifactory, but Damien, the mod author, had a health issue, and so it was put on hold, and we don't know if there's ever going to be one or when it's going to come out. So if you know about this, you know that a couple of people actually added Omnium, the recipe for the liquid, and the possibility to make the ingots, to make the blocks and the motes, and these kind of things. But from that logic, that kind of means that as soon as you can get an ingot, you should be able to turn it into a liquid. Meaning that it's not in the game, it's just in my client. I cannot actually make this recipe at the moment, but that means that once you get the ingot for the infinity ingot, you should be able to turn it into a liquid and being able to turn into a block. This recipe here, I don't think I agree with it, as it is completely something different. It is used to make the ingot, but it is not the ingot. It is not the same as Omnium for the mote, which is the equivalent of this, and the nugget is pretty much the equivalent of a mote. So if you can make the nuggets, you should be able to make the mote. But when we look at infinity, it is completely different. There is no equivalent of this from the ingot. It's an accumulation of other stuff. So I do think that for this one, it shouldn't be done. And this is pretty much where I'm at. And the thing that I wanted to know is if you guys agreed with the assumption that this should be part of the pack as well. If we follow the logic of everything that's kind of happening in the pack, is as soon as you can make one, you should be able to get the liquid. There is also change. That means that there's change to some of the scripts. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And this is probably going to be implemented. It does facilitate the endgame a lot, but it does not make it absolutely a laughing matter, because the infinity catalyst, which needs the hearts, kind of needs to be made as well. So that means that you're going to need 1 for the first ingot that you make. You're going to need 2, a couple of those, because those are needed here. So that means like about 5 if you're like me and you want to keep 1 of every creative items. If you want the creative mill, you need 2, 3, 4, 5 again because you want to make it. You also need it for the creative energy cell, which is needed for a lot of things. You also needed to make the creative energy source. You needed to make the creative drum, which is also used here. Needed for the creative energy cell for AE, the creative watering can, the solar, the creative jetpack, the creative flux, the creative storage upgrade. So it is still needed. So the thing that's going to happen is that it's going to make it that you're going to need less of the tier 10, rocket. Oh, tier 10 rocket. And that's going to facilitate the end game, but it's not going to turn it into a joke. So that's why we thought that it would be a good thing to implement it, because even the person that finished the pack said that it was pretty much him just being AFK for 4 days, which isn't something nice. It should take time. It should take the time to get the material, but it shouldn't be something that takes 4 days. One thing that I do need to point is that the way that I implemented it wasn't like that for other people. But the thing that I said is that if we look at Infinity Ingot, it's something super complex to make. So it should take time and a lot of power, meaning that you do need to have a crazy setup to be able to make it, because you can see the power that it takes. It takes the UV power to be able to make it in 30 seconds. And if you make a block, well, it should take 9 times that amount, which this is not 9 times that amount. It would be 270 seconds, because 9 times 3 is 27. So yeah, that is something that needs to be fixed. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. And it's probably going to be implemented in the next episode or the one after that. What we need to go through is pretty much me going back through all of these things that I made because I'm kind of lost. And yeah, it's been a week, so I'm a little bit lost. But I do think that we did get this here. So the warp engine, and we were working a ways to automating some of the other stuff. We do have the Ender Energy Manipulator, we do have the Energy Core, the Supercharged Laser Array, so Supercharged, we do have 16,000. So these seems to be fine. Oh, I can't do that. So we do have the advanced one, I believe. Let's see. Advanced. Oh, I hate that. No, so we don't have that one. So this would be the next step for us to actually reach our goal. So that shouldn't be too hard to do. It is also needed for the tier 8 and the tier 7. So let me look into making this into the hangar. And we're going to look at how it's being done. It shouldn't be too hard. It's kind of an easy thing. I was ready to go like all out and make something crazy, and I've even prepared this thing here, and turns out I just used that and it worked. To be honest, it's been a week and a couple of days since I've played, and oh boy, it was hard for me to get back into it. Luckily, we were just making something simple, which is the advanced micro miner system. But dang, that was just hard for to get back into it. Well, let's see what I did. So over here we've got the platinum that does the platinum rod, because we need a platinum rod. Luckily, we had a chest with ender pearls already at the bottom. So I just added the quantum and the tungsten cartridge. In the back of the crafter, we placed a phantom face that links to this guy. This guy to make the titanium plates. And then that one can make these sensors. And then the sensors are linked to this phantom face, which is next to our advanced microminer, which also loots from the chest next to it. And it just sends it to the phantom face at the bottom that sends it straight into our system. So I placed it over here. The maximum I think you're going to get is about 16,000, which is way more than we might need for that one. But yeah, so that wasn't too bad. I'm pretty happy with this. There is one more piece that we do need. And I think we might place it here. I'm kind of asking myself, is this a ZPM thing? Yeah, okay, this is ZPM. All right, I wasn't sure. I placed ZPM and I wasn't sure about that machine here. But yeah, the one that I'm thinking about is we need another sensor. And the other sensor is going to be for the gemstone sensor. And it is the IV one. So it's a Niavander, an osmium rod, a tier 3, tier 5, and some tungsten steel plates. So it isn't too bad. If you don't know, one thing that I can tell you is when you're looking for an item, do I already have some place that I make these? Well, yeah, So I've got them in there. Wait, that's pretty much the system. Okay, so we have them in the system, 114,000, so we can access those quite easily. Is there a place where we have this? No. Tungsten steel plates, we don't have either, and osmium rods, we don't have either. So that means we need to get the eye vendors, make the tungsten steel plate and the osmium rod. So my goal was kind of to use this here, but I don't think it's going to be big enough. So until we use that, well, wait, we need it for that here. And for that's it. So we need it for the making the lair of the Chaos Guardian to be able to get all the Draconic and the Chaos Shards. So we don't need that many, so that is for sure. Oh, the sensor EV. I wasn't sure if we needed more, but good thing. I think we can simply use it from here. Of course, there's not that many, but we're going to be able to separate them as well. It's not something that we need a lot of. But all right, so making this one, again, we don't have that, and glass pane is just glass pane. You make glass and you cut it. All right, that's what I thought. You could cut glass. So that is good. And with that one, we're going to be able to do this. So what I'm thinking is we do the final craft of the gem sensors over here, and we do the other part on that side. So I think this is going to be the route I'm going to take. So again, let me do this little contraption, and I'll bring guys back just after. But first of all, let me just explain. I know that a couple of people don't like the fact that I cut and I do something and then I bring guys back, but I don't know what I'm gonna do most of the times and how I'm gonna do it. And making a simple section is what I'm gonna do may take about 45 minutes. So it's a little bit hard for me to record what I'm doing. So that is kind of why I'm trying to do it and then explain in details how I've done it instead of doing it on camera. I don't mind when I stream to do it on camera because it can take more time. There's interaction and we talk a lot and people help me because I do stupid things a lot. But yeah, it's just in video form. I just prefer cutting for these kind of setups because they're a little bit more complex, and then telling you exactly how it's been done. So let me just do that. What I was saying before kind of applies. So like I said, I wanted to put them there on the left, but as it turns out, everything fits in here, except, well, at the moment I don't have those on the wall. I have not connected it yet. But I presume we're going to put it here with the other ones. And the way I was thinking of putting it is to point it into that. I don't really like the idea, but we're going to do it anyway. I do hope it's going to work. So we're going to do that. We're going to put, to be honest, you don't need that many upgrades here. I do them quickly, but not that quickly. So let's grab that one, put it into this, and it should put our gemstone sensor right over here. Awesome. And then the sensors will be able to be used. Like I said, we should just like put it in a place where we need like 500 because you don't need 16,000, but that's just the way it goes. The thing I don't like though is that I'm using the quantum processor tier 5 for this. I know I'm like saying all this, but to be honest, like we should use them because if we don't, like these machine here will never work. But yeah, This is kind of the reason why we've got all those setups, is so that we can ask stupid things like this. Do I have some facade? See, my brain has difficulty remembering which words I'm looking for, and I do believe there's one missing, like right there. Yeah, that's good. We still have, like, you know, the 4 blocks over here, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to figure out something to go there. But one thing that we can say now is that we can remove that one, that one, that one. And if we look here, the only thing not automated is the love generator. Oh yeah, that's really good. So everything here, so we've got like tier 5, tier 6. Those are the things that like we kind of need to automate. We do have tier 6 already over here. I think I turned off those, as we don't need more, I think. Or I did not, because it's the wetware. Yeah, it's the wetware. But we shouldn't use the wetware for more wetware processors. Should use more adjective or names or things. But yeah, so we shouldn't use more. I don't think we'll need more, unless I end up making like crazy amount like I normally do. But the reason I'm saying that is because if we look at the field, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Wow, I remembered. We need 8 of those for one of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 512 with that one. This one's going to be capped at 512. Because that means that we're going to be able to make 256 of that one. And okay, maybe more? 2,100, 1,400. Oh, but it does mean it was mainly to be able to make all of the layers that we needed, to be able to make all of the Eternium, to be able to make all of the tier 10. If we go with the Infinity Ingot that I talked at the beginning, this is going to reduce it by a lot. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the way we're going to go. These are going to diminish to about maybe 50 that we need, instead of needing all the other amounts. So yeah, that's pretty much the way I see it. But just to make sure. So that one makes the layer makes the Chaos Shard. The Chaos Shard makes everything. So like the Chaotic Core, the Draconic Reactor that we need for the tier 9. And the tier 9 is needed to make the Universal Creator, to make the heart. So you see the point where you have a lot less need, as this one, instead of maybe needing like, I don't remember the amount. I don't think I kept the word file that I had with the amount. But if we make a quick calculation, there's 9, there's 224, so that's 233. And that's 435. 435. And instead of that, we might need 40. So that's a lot less. A lot less. But yeah, I think this episode is going to be short, but I think this is where I'm going to end it for today, because I'm not really sure on how I want to approach the next thing. I want to have your ideas on the Infinity Ingot. And like I said, I'm probably going to use it, as for me, it kind of makes sense to have, again, I'm going to go through it, Infinity, to have this recipe once you had the ingot, as it's pretty much the way we have it for everything. So yeah, again, I do need to change the block to 270 seconds. It is a lot of power to get it. But guys, that is going to be it for today. And before we just say the last words, let's just go check out that thing. It's been a while. Not even 1%. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like. If you really loved it, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.